Yuri Romanenko was the commander of the mission, and he had previously flown on the Soyuz 26 mission to the Salyut 6 station in December 1977. He was born on August 1, 1944, in the Orenburg region of Russia. Before becoming a cosmonaut, Romanenko was a pilot in the Soviet Air Force and had over 1,000 hours of flying experience. He was selected as a cosmonaut in 1967 and went on to fly 3 space missions, spending a total of 430 days in space. Romanenko was also the father of cosmonaut Roman Romanenko, who later flew on 3 space missions himself. Georgi Grechko was the flight engineer for the Salyut 6E01 mission. He was born on May 25, 1931, in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, Russia. Grechko had a background in engineering and was selected as a cosmonaut in 1965. He flew on 2 space missions, spending a total of 134 days in space. During their mission to Salyut 6, Romanenko and Grechko conducted a variety of scientific experiments and performed maintenance tasks on the space station. They also received several supply shipments from Earth, including food, water, and other necessities. In addition, they communicated with ground controllers and other cosmonauts on the ground using the station's radio equipment. One of the most notable events of the Salyut 6E01 mission occurred on November 23, 1977, when a fire broke out on the space station. The fire was caused by an electrical short circuit in a ventilation fan and spread quickly, filling the station with smoke. Romanenko and Grechko were able to extinguish the fire using handheld fire extinguishers and were credited with saving the space station and their own lives. Overall, the Salyut 6E01 mission was a success, and Romanenko and Grechko were praised for their bravery and professionalism during the fire. Their mission helped pave the way for future long-duration missions to space stations and contributed to the ongoing scientific exploration of space. Romanenko was the first human to be launched into space during the month of November, which is now celebrated as Cosmonautics Day in Russia. During his 3rd space mission, which took place in 1987, Romanenko set a new record for the longest single spaceflight by a human, spending 326 days in space aboard the Mir space station. After retiring from the Soviet space program in 1991, Romanenko worked as a consultant for the Russian space agency, Roscosmos. He also served as a member of the Russian parliament from 1995 to 1999. Romanenko has been awarded numerous honors and medals for his achievements in space, including the title of Hero of the Soviet Union and the Order of Lenin. In addition to his work as a cosmonaut, Grechko was also a prominent scientist and engineer. He held a doctorate in engineering and had authored numerous scientific papers on topics such as spacecraft design and control systems. During his 2nd space mission, which took place in 1979, Grechko conducted a spacewalk lasting over 4 hours to repair a faulty antenna on the Salyut 6 station. After retiring from the Soviet space program in 1987, Grechko worked as a professor of engineering at Bauman Moscow State Technical University. Grechko received many honors and awards during his career, including the title of Hero of the Soviet Union and the Order of Lenin. He passed away on April 8, 2017, at the age of 85. During his time on the Salyut 6E01 mission, Romanenko conducted a spacewalk lasting over 6 hours to perform maintenance tasks on the exterior of the space station. Romanenko's son, Roman Romanenko, followed in his father's footsteps and became a cosmonaut as well. The two of them became the first father and son to fly in space. In addition to his spaceflight accomplishments, Romanenko was also an accomplished athlete. He was a member of the Soviet national team for water polo and was a 6-time national champion in the sport. Grechko's first space mission, which took place in 1975, was the joint Apollo-Soyuz test project between the United States and the Soviet Union. Grechko served as the backup flight engineer for the Soviet Soyuz spacecraft. During his time in space, Grechko conducted experiments in the fields of astrophysics, space biology, and materials science. He also performed Earth observation and photography tasks. Grechko was an active member of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union and held various political positions throughout his career, including a seat in the Supreme Soviet of the USSR. In addition to his technical and political accomplishments, Grechko was also a talented artist and musician. He enjoyed painting and playing the guitar in his free time. During his time in space, Romanenko conducted experiments in the fields of medicine, biology, and materials science. He also performed observations of the Earth's atmosphere and studied the behavior of various materials in the weightless environment. In 1980, Romanenko was awarded the title of Honored Test Pilot of the USSR for his contributions to the development of Soviet aviation technology. After retiring from the Russian space program, Romanenko served as the director of the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center from 1992 to 2004. He oversaw the training of Russian and international crews for space missions during this time. Romanenko has been married twice and has 2 children. In addition to his spaceflight accomplishments, Grechko was also an accomplished engineer and played a significant role in the development of the Soviet space program. He worked on a number of key projects, including the design of the Salyut space stations and the development of Soviet spacesuits. After his retirement from the Russian space program, Grechko continued to be active in the scientific community. He served as the vice president of the Russian Academy of Sciences and was a member of the International Academy of Astronautics. Grechko was also an avid sailor and enjoyed spending time on the water. He was a member of the Russian Yachting Federation and participated in a number of regattas. In addition to his technical and artistic interests, Grechko was also a passionate environmentalist. He was an advocate for protecting the natural world and worked to promote sustainable development practices. During his time on the Mir space station, Romanenko experienced several technical issues, including a fire and a power outage. He worked with his crewmates to resolve these issues and ensure the safety of the station. In 1988, Romanenko was awarded the Order of the Red Banner of Labor, one of the highest civilian honors in the Soviet Union, for his contributions to the Soviet space program. After his retirement from the Russian space program, Romanenko was involved in several business ventures. He founded a company that specialized in aviation and space-related technologies and also worked in the aerospace industry as a consultant. Romanenko is still alive and continues to be active in the space community. He has served as a mentor to younger cosmonauts and has spoken publicly about his experiences in space. During his second space mission, Grechko conducted experiments on the growth of crystals in microgravity. His research helped pave the way for the development of new materials and technologies. Grechko was known for his sense of humor and his love of practical jokes. He once pranked his fellow crewmates by putting a toy spider in their sleeping quarters. In addition to his scientific and technical interests, Grechko was also a philanthropist. He established a foundation that provided financial support to young scientists and engineers in Russia. After his death in 2017, Grechko was honored with a state funeral in Moscow. He was buried with full military honors at the Novodevichy Cemetery, where many other prominent Russian figures are buried. Romanenko's first space mission, Soyuz 26, was a joint mission with a Bulgarian cosmonaut. Romanenko became the first Soviet cosmonaut to fly with a non-Soviet crew member. During his time on the Mir space station, Romanenko participated in a number of experiments related to human physiology and space medicine. He also conducted research on the behavior of various materials in space and on the impact of the space environment on electronic devices. In 2011, Romanenko was awarded the title of Hero of the Russian Federation, the highest honorary title in the Russian Federation. He was recognized for his contributions to the development of the Soviet and Russian space programs. Romanenko is also an author and has written several books about his experiences in space. His autobiography, Yuri Romanenko, From the Black Sea to the Stars, was published in 2006. Grechko's second space mission, Soyuz T-14, was the final mission to the Salyut 7 space station. During the mission, Grechko and his crewmates conducted experiments related to astrophysics, Earth observation, and materials science. In addition to his scientific and technical work, Grechko was also involved in promoting space education and outreach. He worked with schoolchildren and young people to inspire interest in science and technology. Grechko was also a skilled photographer and took many stunning photographs of Earth from space. Some of his photographs were published in books and used for scientific research purposes. Grechko was known for his kind and friendly personality, and was highly respected by his fellow cosmonauts and colleagues. He was remembered as a dedicated scientist and a true pioneer of space exploration. In addition to his space missions, Romanenko also flew as a test pilot for the Soviet Air Force. He logged more than 5,000 hours of flight time and tested a variety of new aircraft designs. Romanenko's son, Roman Yurievich Romanenko, is also a cosmonaut and has flown on 2 space missions to the International Space Station. In 2018, Romanenko received the prestigious Russian National Award for Achievements in Science and Technology for his contributions to the development of the Soviet and Russian space programs. Romanenko has also been involved in a number of charitable activities, including supporting orphanages and other social causes. During his time in space, Grechko conducted a number of experiments related to Earth observation, studying the oceans, atmosphere, and weather patterns. He was also involved in experiments related to materials science and technology development. In addition to his space-related work, Grechko was an accomplished artist and musician. He played the guitar and wrote songs, and also enjoyed painting and drawing. Grechko was also an avid sportsman and enjoyed skiing, swimming, and sailing. He participated in a number of sailing competitions and won several medals. After his retirement from the Russian space program, Grechko worked as a professor at the Moscow Aviation Institute. He continued to be involved in space-related research and education until his death in 2017.